Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Photosynthesis Preparation Station. All right, we've got Phil here, aka also known as chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is living in a little house. What's the name of Phil's house? Chloroplast, because his house is a blast. Chloroplast, because his house is a blast. And every chloroplast is shaped just like you see here, kind of like a yield sign. And why is Phil so green? Chlorophyll is a pigment that is green. That's why most leaves are green. So again, we have Photosynthesis Preparation Station with chlorophyll, aka Phil. Phil is going to bake up a birthday cake today, a sugar birthday cake, because one of his friends is going to have a party. So, what ingredients does he need for photosynthesis? Photo means light, synthesize means make, or bring together or combine. So, light. So, what kind of light do we need to make this birthday cake? Well, we need light from the sun. The sun's energy goes into his bowl to mix up the batter in order to make the sugar cake. He has to also add in some carbon dioxide and also water. And he whips it in his bowl. Whip it! Whip it good! Whip it! Whip it good. Whip that cake. Whip that cake. Whip it, whip it, whip that cake. Whip that cake. Whip that birthday cake and make a sugar cake. What kind of cake? A sugar cake. What kind of cake? A sugar cake. Make that birthday sugar cake. What is given off as he makes that sugar or that food for the plant to live? Oxygen is released into the air, right out of the leaf, into the air. So, one more time, in order for photosynthesis, photo means light, synthesize means make or combine. So, in order for us to make or combine food for the plant, we have to first add energy from the sun. Photo means light, sunlight. So, energy from the sun, carbon dioxide, and then water. And you whip it good in a bowl. And Phil can make a sugar cake. What did he make a sugar cake? Sugar is what's needed for the plant to grow. So as soon as he whips up the sugar cake, then sugar is given to the plant in order for it to grow. And the process of a plant eating its own food is the next thing that you're going to learn about. So this process was photosynthesis. Photo means light, synthesize means make, and chloroplast is where he's making this photosynthesis or food process happen. And chlorophyll is green because he's a pigment inside leaves. And the process is he whips up the sun's energy, carbon dioxide, and water in a bowl. Whip it good. And then he throws it in the oven and he bakes a sugar cake. And oxygen is released. So oxygen's released into the air. And there's a little song, and we'll learn it in a couple minutes. But first we have to find out, how does the plant eat its food? So this is how the plant makes its food. Synthesize means make. How does the plant eat its food? This is Respiration Restaurant. So I told you plants make food and they release sugar and oxygen. S-O. So what? So what came out? Sugar and oxygen. So, S-O. So is always together. Energy, carbon dioxide, and water went in, and so what came out? Sugar and oxygen. So, S-O. Now look at what happens whenever respiration happens. So is going in. Here's the sugar cake that Phil just made. So Phil is ready to serve the birthday cake. His friend takes a breath in, so there's the oxygen. He's taking the breath in. And then he breathes out carbon dioxide to blow the candles out. He eats the cake, and he gets all jacked up on a whole bunch of energy. because it gave him energy. So plants eat their sugar, the sugar that they made to get energy, and then they drink so much during that process that they have to release water. And when they release water, it's called transpiration. And we'll learn that as the very next item. So, one more time. Phil is ready to serve his birthday cake. His friend breathes in oxygen, so sugar and oxygen went in. Here's the sugar. He breathes in the oxygen, and then he releases carbon dioxide, because humans release carbon dioxide. So, carbon dioxide goes out of the leaf. Energy is used inside the leaf for the plant to grow, and water is released out of the leaf. So, everything on this side goes into the leaf. Everything over here comes out of the leaf. What went in? Sugar and oxygen. The little boy blew out. That was the carbon dioxide. The plant got all its energy to grow. Or we also use the energy to run around, and humans go through respiration as well. And then it makes a lot of extra water in the plant, so the plant has to let the water out. So Phil is ready to serve the birthday cake. His friend breathes in oxygen, breathes out carbon dioxide to blow out the candles. They eat the cake, which gives them lots of energy to dance. They get so thirsty from all the cake and dancing that the guests drink lots of punch, which makes them need to relieve their water-filled bladders. So, do you notice how sugar and oxygen stayed together on this side? Whenever photosynthesis was making food, sugar and oxygen came out of the leaf. Energy, carbon dioxide, and water went into the leaf. Sugar and oxygen came out. So they're buddies. So what? Sugar and oxygen were buddies. They stayed together. So in respiration, sugar and oxygen are still together. So what? I have a buddy. They're BFFs. Sugar and oxygen went into the leaf. And what came out? Carbon dioxide, energy, and water. Or energy stayed in the leaf to give it an opportunity to grow and get taller and to keep the plant healthy. So there's a song that says, photosynthesis makes food only in the sunlight. Respiration, eat food anytime it feels like. It could be day or night when respiration happens. Photosynthesis makes food only in the sunlight. Light and photo mean the same thing. Respiration, eat food anytime it feels like. It can happen day or night. You can eat food to get energy day or night as a person, and plants can eat food to get energy as plants. So, this brings me to the next thing. Plants can make their own food, but people can't. Plants are called autotrophs. Auto means self, and troph means nutrition. So self-nutrition. Humans can't do this, or animals. We're called heterotrophs. Hetera means different, and troph means nutrition. So we have to find different ways to get nutrition. We've got to be hunters, gatherers, a predator, or a prey. So one more time. Photosynthesis makes food only in the sunlight. Respiration, eat food anytime it feels like, day or night. But remember whenever we were relieving the water? Plants release water. We release water by sweating. How does a plant release water? Let's go to Transpiration Tropics and learn it. Phil is so exhausted since his recent cooking adventure that he decides to take a vacation to Transpiration Tropics. He finally arrives at his tropical tiki hut getaway, and he decides to enjoy his day soaking in the sunlight. And he is lying in his hammock, sweating away, and he observes a fern-like palm tree drooping in the sunlight all around the lagoon. And he says, "Aha!" He remembers that he's perspiring, giving off water under his arms, just like the plants around him are giving off water too. And that is called transpiration. How does transpiration happen? Well, hold on and we're going to show you a little bit more of that. So again, Transpiration Tropics, the plants are giving off water. So in transpiration, these plants are literally releasing water through their little guard cells or stoma or stomata. So the water is taken in through the roots, out the stem of the leaves, the little tiny part of the leaf, and then it's released during transpiration. Transpiration, whenever it's released, they have these little guard cells, and the water, whenever the guard cell needs to be opened up, it opens up and the water is released out of it. And whenever it's no longer going through transpiration, they close up. We also have to think about xylem and phloem. Xylem is how any of the water and nutrients from the roots goes up through the plant. So all the water and nutrients that's down in the soil and in the roots has to get up through the plant. So it goes up, it transports up through the plant's xylem. Xylem looks like this in a plant. And then phloem it's like an up elevator and a down elevator. Xylem is the up elevator and phloem is the down elevator. Xylem up takes water and minerals up from the roots. Phloem down, the down elevator, phloem brings sugar from photosynthesis that Phil made that sugar cake back down to the roots to help the plant grow. So we have a song for that. Xylem up and phloem down. Xylem up and phloem down. Xylem up and phloem down. Help that plant stay healthy in the ground. Xylem up and phloem down. Xylem up and phloem down. Xylem up and phloem down. Help that plant stay healthy in the ground. Yeah. So think about it. Phloem starts with a pH. Don't forget that in order for phloem to transport anything down, pH for photosynthesis, it had to go through photosynthesis first to make the sugar in the leaf, because all sugar's made in the leaf, to be transported back down that down elevator called phloem. So there's xylem up elevator taking up water and minerals from the soil, and there's the phloem down elevator. Just think of flowing down. Xylem up and phloem down. Xylem up and phloem down. Xylem up and phloem down. Help that plant stay healthy in the ground. Yeah. And the next thing is just reviewing a little bit about word parts. Now this is an ELA thing, but I want you to remember that plants are autotrophs. Auto means self or same. Troph means nutrition. So autotroph, if a plant is an autotroph, plants are autotrophs because they make their own food through photosynthesis. So they give them self-nutrition. Animals, however, are opposite. We cannot make our own food. Hetero means different. Different nutrition. Animals are heterotrophs because they have to search to get their own food, and they cannot make it on their own. Heterotrophs are hunters, gatherers, predator, or their prey. Or, like humans, we go to Food Lion to get our food today. Hunter, gatherer, predator, prey. Go to Food Lion, get my food today. Hunter starts with an H. Heterotroph starts with an H. Heterotrophs cannot make their own food. They have to go hunt for it, gather it, be the predator or the prey. Or like humans, we just go to the store and buy our food at Food Lion. So one more time. Hunters, gatherers, predator, prey. I'm going to Food Lion to get my food today. Hunters, gatherers, predator, prey. Going to Food Lion to get my food today. So auto meant self. Troph meant nutrition. Self-nutrition. Heterotroph, hetero means different. Animals are heterotrophs. They cannot make their own nutrition. We cannot make our own nutrition. We have to get it somewhere else. Transpiration and photosynthesis word parts look like this. Trans means across. The water is traveling across. Spire means to breathe. Across, breathe. Shun means act or condition of. Act of breathing across. Act of breathing across. Condition or act of breathing across. The water is released through transpiration. And photosynthesis, photo means light, synthesize means make or combine. So remember that photosynthesis cannot make food without sunlight. And that's just about it. Hope you enjoyed today's lesson.